Timcast IRL will be live in Miami with Patrick Bet David, Donald Trump Jr., Matt Gaetz, and Luke Rudkowski. Join us there. Get your tickets by clicking the link in the description below or by going to timcast.com. Russell Brand cancels comedy dates after sexual assault allegations. The comedian was scheduled to perform 3 dates in Britain this month. Now they've been postponed. He's also been dropped from his talent agency. Shows on Channel 4 have been pulled. There's pressure on the BBC and Netflix to pull his shows. Yo, they're coming after Russell Brand with force I have not seen in a long time. I mean, look, they come after him. And apparently there is a criminal investigation underway as well. But I hear people talking about on Twitter. And Andrew Tate says Matrix attack. That's what he calls it. Some people are comparing this to what they did to Andrew Tate. But I think what they did to Andrew Tate, what they're doing to him is a bit more extreme. They're accusing him of like outright trafficking and stuff like this. But I do find it very interesting that Russell Brand is being so heavily targeted for one simple reason. Epstein has been accused of doing so much more and for such a long period of time to the point where he was actually criminally prosecuted, where you actually had ABC News, Amy Rohrbeck saying, we got him, we got this story, and then dropping it. When you have someone as devious and malicious, evil as Epstein, and they do nothing, and then you have Russell Brand, and they're like, did you know that 10 years ago, 15 years ago? In one instance, they're saying it was 17 years ago. It's like, what, 2-decade-old allegations? And apparently, I don't even know if these allegations, some of them are not even criminal. They're like, he was abusive emotionally, and like this is all part of the story. They're trying to destroy this guy's career and pull him off out of the face of mainstream conversations and commentary for decades-old allegations. I gotta say, right off the bat, it seems kind of strange. So I do want to play for you this clip here because this is sparking conspiracy number 1. Simon Atiba says, many are now saying this video clip might be why Russell Brand is being attacked. Watch. Let's play this clip from Real Time with Bill Maher. This thing's probably got, I don't know, 50 million views because it's being reposted everywhere. But here you go.
Would you, if you like, actually...
You just get the fuck out of here. This is not the place.
He said he's going to give him facts.
We love facts. I love facts.
I wouldn't have mentioned it. I'm English, and you know that politeness is our fundamental religion. But they do pertain to this issue, so may I say some of them? If they inconvenience you, I'll stop saying them. The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than 2/3 of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention, finally, and this is also a fact, that you, the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid for the funding. All I'm querying is this.
Yes.
Is if you have an economic system in which pharmaceutical companies benefit hugely from medical emergencies, where a military-industrial complex benefits from war, where energy companies benefit from energy crises, you are going to generate states of perpetual crisis, where the interests of ordinary people separate from the interests of the elite.
And he hit the nail on the head with the hammer. People are saying, like, that's it right there. I'm not going to go. I think it's silly to say this one clip did it. Because I don't know, when's this clip from? Do we even know when that show was? I'm pretty sure it was from a while ago. But I will say, it's that kind of sentiment that's going to make you a lot of enemies.
I'm still waiting for my Pfizer check. That's for sure.
Well, are you guys sponsored? I know all these media companies are, sponsored by Pfizer. All these news outlets.
I'll tell you, this could be, first of all, innocent till proven guilty. How many times have you seen allegations go against an athlete, someone who seems to be not part of the whole matrix, they call it, right? Someone that's not in bed with the elites. How many times have you seen the allegations come, the name dragged through the mud for a year or two, all to find out in the end that there's no charges, nothing ever happens. But then what happens is you get associated with being a rapist. You get, say Russell Brand, say that this goes on for some time, everything, nothing happens, right? Oh, innocent, nothing really that we see that's going to get him jail time. People are still going to say, oh, didn't he rape women.
Yeah, anytime his name comes in an article, they're going to say Russell Brand, who was accused of this, whether or not anything's actually proven.
Right.
They'll put the commas. Russell Brand, comma, who was accused of multiple rapes, comma.
Right, and it taints your legacy. And I think he says a whole lot more than this. This is big. He's obviously saying information that people may not know that's good to know. And I think they're going after him because they're trying to set the tone that if you revolt, if you're going against anything that we're displeased with right now in time, this could be you. You could be the one next that's getting this, unjust system. I think that the justice system is becoming, completely favorable to the elites who can kind of do whatever they want.
I think it's always been kind of like
it's
that,
getting worse though. They're doing it in front of our
point.
faces now. Now it's just like, with jaywalking, we don't like this guy. Look at who do you vote for? Look at him. Yeah, give him 2 years in prison. And then someone over here does the worst thing you could possibly do, and it's just somehow they program all of our minds to not care that they kill all these people or do.
I think this could simply be, if you are outside the establishment and mainstream narrative, you are not allowed to be in the establishment and the mainstream. So this could be for a lot of reasons. One, a super chat just popped in. OMG Puppies made a good point, saying that he's anti-war. He's anti-Ukraine war. And for the UK, I mean, they're more serious. They're sending depleted uranium tank busters, I think they're called these. And Putin said that these are basically nuclear weapons. So you've got someone in the UK doing that. They excise him from everything. This is their way to reduce his influence. I don't think they care about the aftermath. They're basically saying he should not be on mainstream television. He should not be on Netflix, BBC, Channel 4. He should be in the gutters of society along with Alex Jones and you name it. They should not be platformed, as it were. How do you get someone off of a network? If Russell Brand is featured in these TV shows, they generate attention for him. And that brings people to his podcast where he outright says, we should not be funding war. We should not be funding big pharmaceutical companies. Okay, you got a problem. Well, you can't just sever the contracts you have with them unless you have a morality violation. Now you have your morality clause violation against Russell Brand, impropriety. And it's like, why would his talent agency drop him overnight? It's like, come on. There's not a conviction. It doesn't matter. This is their way of saying we are removing him from polite society because we don't like the things he has to say.
And it's funny because they none of this came out when he's playing the role of a guy that all he does is drink, do drugs, and have sex, right? We want to represent this guy. He's the perfect guy.
Yeah. Or the years that he spent talking about his sex addiction in his stand-up comedy, right? Like, he was open about the fact that he lived essentially a degenerate lifestyle. I mean, it was fueled by addiction. It's complicated. I get that, but no one thought, yes, while his initial star was rising, I should come forward with these allegations, right? He has been a popular name for a long time. Why now?
Well, when the casting comes in and the casting says looking for sex addicted rock star, literally his agent's like, that's my guy,
I have the perfect guy.
And then you find out now they're trying to say, he does these things in real life. And you're like, I kind of figured that was the case anyway, but they're just trying to put a bad spin on what I think. I want to see it. I want to see the evidence.
Well, I mean, accusing the dude of rape, I think, is completely over the top, right?
Right.
You might look at him and be like,
10 years later.
Yeah, but like to assume that he has these behaviors because of his character and his persona and stuff, it's like, well, no, I might assume that he's at like crazy clubs and parties and doing nasty stuff, but not abusing people. I mean, that's like accusing him of I wouldn't assume Russell Brand's committing crimes against people. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that two people can get drunk, blackout drunk, have sex, for not even know they did it because they're blacked out. Then the next morning, the woman can say, I didn't agree to that. Mm-hmm. I wasn't cognitively
But a man can't. If that happened to a woman and they're both blackout drunk, the woman can say, I was raped, but the man can't say I was raped, which is terrible, right? Like I thought we're the feminists. I thought we were all gender equal. Why can't men accuse it too? But the fault is always on the men.
No, but didn't someone do this? There was a guy who came out and said that he was raped by some woman, like abruptly. Yeah, this happened once, and everyone, I can't remember who this was. Everybody was like, you see the game he's playing? He's going to be the first one to make the accusation so that he can't be accused because he's the one making the accusation. I can't remember. There was a story. Maybe the people in the chat will remember.
I mean, similar stuff comes up when you get, high school students who sleep with their teacher and everyone's like, wow, great job. But if it's a girl, they're like, that man was out of control, which of course, in both scenarios, the adult is in the wrong there.
Here's something funny too. People need to watch out for. I mentioned this on my morning show. They say that Russell Brand, one of the accusers, was 16 at the time. And you're like, whoa, that's crazy. But you got to ask yourself first, how old was Russell Brand? Because imagine, if someone came out and was like, Ian Crossland dated a 16-year-old when he was 16.
That's actually true.
Right. So it's like saying Ian Crossland dated a 16-year-old. People were like, whoa, that's crazy.
Wait, no,
and we need
she
to
was
see
15.
if this is a fact. And we need to see if this is actually, you could just see, we're hearing hearsay right now. I want to see the facts. I want to see the case. I'm not just going to call him a rapist and then 2 years later, like, he actually never did it. And then he's still this rapist.
But I do want to say one more thing, too. Russell Brand was 31 at the time of the allegations of the 16-year-old. And so it's like, I'm not gonna give the guy a free pass either.
Agreed.
There's accusations, innocent until proven guilty. I don't think he should lose his job at all just because these claims are coming out, and they're not even. I think these claims, for the most part, are not even claims of criminality. I think there may be a couple, but in the instance of a 16-year-old, I think that the age of consent, as all the news reports are saying, it was legal. Doesn't mean good. Like 31-year-old hitting up a 16-year-old, kind of weird.
Not great.
Assuming it's true, but criminal. And then it's a question of, are we gonna look, dude? Is this 20 years ago? If the dude committed a crime or whatever, we hold him accountable. I just think when you have Epstein and they don't care at all.
And weirdly, none of his victims seem to be allowed to come forward at all ever. A couple of them do, and then they get.
Where's
they
that client list?
Yeah, Maria Farmer. She's the one. Listen to her.
It's just amazing. What were we saying, Ian? I don't know. I didn't read this part of the story. You mentioned that like a journalist reached out to these women.
People were saying that he's being targeted. I'm like, well, let's look into it. And then I looked into it, and apparently a journalist took it upon herself to contact these women and be like, do you want to be in a story about Russell? Do you want to accuse Russell Brand? Do you want to, and like ask these people to come out? And I don't know if this is 100%. I haven't like been able to confirm or deny because I don't know the behind the scenes workings, but it sounds like it was a reporter that kind of put all this together.
I want to say, I'll say two quick things because we got some great messages in the chat. This is Amtrue said that he said, you said it to him, they're going to go after lawyers for doing nothing. Next would be media personalities. Yeah, I didn't think this would be like in relation to J6, right? I didn't mean like someone like Russell Brand. I meant people who are actively promoting J6. But I do want to say this is modern assassination. The way they target people, powerful elites, corrupt individuals, mafias, whatever, back in the day was assassination. That's reserved now for extreme circumstances related to international conflict, war. What they do now, you can observe with Julian Assange, falsely accused of rape to taint the media. You then got all of these intel asset media agencies, prominent mainstream media. They kept saying Julian Assange raped a woman. He was accused of rape. None of it was true. He was never accused of rape. That never happened.
Right.
Then they lock him up for it, and he knows the charges are bunk, and so then he goes to the Ecuadorian embassy, and then the media runs the attack again and again and again. Julian Assange flees rape charges. There was never a rape charge. He was never accused of raping anybody. The media just kept lying about it because character assassination is how you do it. If you assassinate someone, let's say, and look, I love this. The media is going to be like conspiracy theories, dude. Come on, assassinations get busted all the time. We know it happens. The dark web has these things. If they are trying to take out someone who's politically powerful or influential, and that person dies, they become a martyr. People paint pictures of their face on a wall. So the modern technique is destroy the image of the person first, and then make it unacceptable or unthinkable to say their name or cite them.
Yeah, I would call this modern banishment, where you used to actually throw them out of the country. Now you debank them and make them agent drop them and stuff. It doesn't matter where they live; they're just not welcome to be part of the society.
And you're getting banished for what? For trying to start try to inform the civilians, trying to start a revolution of some sorts for us, because we know at this point that we're fed up, right? All of us. There's a lot to be fed up about, and it brings fear for communities. It brings fear for leaders to step out and say, we're not going to take any more of this. We're standing up to this, and it's going to make less people want to kind of put their foot down and revolt against the abuse of power that's been happening extremely the past few years. I mean, it's been happening our whole lifetime, but it's really, really getting done in front of our face more recently. And I've got little kids to raise, so I want them to grow up in a good civilization, right? So they can just do this to you. They can just, 30 years for January 6th, which was obviously planned and kind of scripted out to happen that way. And then look what they do. They're setting an example for anybody that wants to be a part of any form of revolution. That's a problem, because we may need a revolution at some point during our lifetimes.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.